So I think there's nothing worse, is there, than getting that perfect tee shot away, great lie, standing up there, fatting it, thinning it, miss-hitting it. Well, by the end of today, I'm going to show you how you're going to swing the club so simply and hit the ball flush out the middle with good distance and good accuracy every single time. So that ability to hit the ball and then the ground, and secondly, to hit it out the middle of the club face, is the key to being a great ball striker. And when we watch the best players in the world, they make it look so simple. But they do a couple of things in their swing better and consistently better than 99% of golfers out there. Now, the two things we're going to work on today, one's very much from face on, which is going to be the first part, which is about how we control the lowest point of our golf swing to make sure we hit ball and then ground every time. And then the second part is looking down the line as to how we make sure that the swing on the right angle so that we hit the correct part of the club face every time. So like I said, two parts to this video. Now you might find that you're already fantastic at ball and then ground. So you might stand there and say, right, I can stand there, get that shot, hit ball and then ground every time. And TrackMan will show me there that the lowest point of my golf swing was 5 inches after the ball. So this first bit might just be a refresher for you. The second bit might be the big bit about how you hit the middle of the club face. But let's imagine the golf swing looking face on with all of us. So the simplest form is that club moves in a circular motion around your body. And what all the best players in the world do is they get the lowest point of their golf swing after the golf ball so that we collect the ball and then the ground every single time. And like I said, they make it look so simple. And that good solid contact ultimately gets the ball out there for the speed you swing at. So what do we need to do? Well, if we look at, imagine the middle of the circle was your sternum, but actually the lowest point tends to be kind of more opposite your lead armpit. So what we see with the best players in the world, very much with irons this as well, is that during their backswing, they stay very kind of centered. And as they get to the top of their backswing, they're already moving towards the target. So we can see by the time I come down, my low point would be well ahead of the golf ball and it'd be in the ground. But what we tend to see with the higher handicappers and the poor ball strikers is they move around a lot. And when they don't move back enough, that's where they hit the ground back here, or they miss the ground, they top it and thin it, and occasionally they'll move back and get that good shot. But they just move around a huge amount. So the first thing we're going to talk about is at address, instead of feeling 50-50, we want to feel that we get a little bit more pressure into our left side. So maybe 60-40. And I'm going to feel in my swing like I don't let my weight move. So say very over the ball, then I can shift towards the target. And we can do that, a little bit of speed out to begin with. I could feel there straight away, ball and then ground. The feedback from TrackMan is 4.6 inches after the ball. And again, one more with a little bit less speed. And it feels very, very powerful, even though I'm not really swinging as quick as I could. You can see another one there, 6 inches after. And then we're going to build some speed into the swing, still feeling that from that little bit more pressure on that lead foot, I stay more over the ball rather than moving off. And then I can drive towards the target. And we see even on the practice swings there, I'm going to touch after the golf ball. So again, we set up a little bit more speed now. Again, felt great. Okay, it's a little bit left, but 86 mile an hour club speed, 118. Ball speed, 5.2 inches after and 165 carry. And when I work with golfers face to face, this is probably the most important skill, I think, is getting that low point after the ball. Because what we see with the best players in the world, yes, they're after, but how much theirs moves around is tiny. And the worse the ball striker, the more the low point moves from front to back. So again, we're going to go one more. Start left, stay left, go left. And it just feels all day long like I could stand up there, make that swing, hit ball and then ground, and get a very similar result to that. Now I know what you're thinking. That seems so simple, and it is a very simple concept. I'm not saying it's easy because we tend to fall back into those old habits, but remember, we don't need to make things difficult and complicated to play great golf. And if you can control that low point, straight away you're going to be hitting ball and then ground every single time. Now, the second part of the video is that bit there. I'll put it on screen just so you can see it more clearly. But hitting the middle of the club face. Now, it'd be great if we hit bang on the middle every single time, but the sweet spots on the modern irons are a decent size, but centeredness of strike then becomes important. And what helps create that centeredness of strike? Well, the first thing is setting ourselves in a good position. So getting our body tilted forward so that we're going to collect ball and then ground, but that the club can come back into a similar place every time. Now, first thing I would say is your perfect posture might not be what you've been told in the past. So a great way I like to feel it is it's all about how we tilt the pelvis to get that spine forward. So I want you to kind of go into your normal posture. So that'd be my normal posture. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my hips back as far as I can, tuck them under as far as I can, and I'm going to find the middle of my range. So that's about the middle for me. So that's my perfect posture. If I had my hips too much this way, there's a lot of curvature in my spine and I'll end up standing up. If I were to go too much the other way, again, I can't really get anywhere, so I'm going to have to stand up out of posture. So get into your neutral posture and then make your swing, starting left. And that one felt solid. So fairly centered on the club face, but again, very, very easy in that low point ahead. Now, I'll see lots of golfers set up really well, but what they're then unable to do during their swings is maintain that tilt. So what we see with a lot of golfers is on the backswing, they stand up, then they don't get down enough, and they can top the ball like that. Or they'll stand up in the backswing, try and compensate on the way down, and crash into the ground. And to be honest, even when you're moving around like that, it's incredibly difficult. So a really simple way of learning how to maintain your tilts is from that address position, we want to feel left shoulder down. And then as we move towards the target, right shoulder down. And if I make a few swings like that, you'll see how I stay in posture and I retain my tilt forward throughout my golf swing. Now, I'll be honest, this isn't something I do particularly well. I know on my backswing, I tend to get a little out of posture, and definitely coming into the ball, I can get quite a bit out of posture. And I get away with it, but mine tend to be a little bit kind of thin with the strike. So the club comes away from the ground, or sometimes the club comes a little closer to me because I stand up, and I get that toe strike. So we're going to think left shoulder down, right shoulder down, and just see how that feels. So it definitely felt more tilted than I would normally do. Just a little bit towards the toe, but toe side of the sweet spot. Low point still ahead, speed good, and a slight miss strike costing me a few yards. But that definitely felt a little bit more exaggerated this way, but a lot more exaggerated that way for me. So again, like I did earlier on, we're going to take a little bit of speed out for a couple. Definitely didn't maintain it on the way down there. And we can see that strike a little bit out the toe, like I said it could be. That felt better. There's a more centered strike. There's more distance. And just all in all, everything better. So, final one then. Going to build a little bit more speed back in. Face on, we're going to get that set up right. And then it's all about, can I maintain my tilt to hit the ball, middle of the club face, ball first, and have a great shot. And it was solid. Quicker swing today, nice ball speed, low point 4.4 inches after, carry at 165, and we can see the strike very near the middle of the club face. So remember, if you want to master your ball striking, which if you're watching this video, you have to want to do that, the first thing we need to do is learn how to control that low point so that we get ball and then ground every single time. Then, if you want to start finding the middle of the club face, we need to stop moving around in our posture, standing up, trying to get back down. And the way we're going to do that is have nice tilt at address, maintain our tilt on the way back, maintain the tilt into impact. And as we swing through, we're going to collect the ball, hit the middle of the club face, ball first, and just start hitting the best shots you've ever hit from the ground.